Okay, quickly, external dimension of the case. From the back screw over there to the front all the way is 60 centimeters. The topmost part is 66.5 centimeters tall, and the width at the back from one plate to another is 24 centimeters. The side panel. First thing we notice is this hook over here that retracts so. What it is for? Well, it is to hang your headphone and things like that. This is not to be mistaken for a coat hanger. Might work that way. Cap maybe. Anyhow, so there's a pretty long-running perspex window. Lengthwise would have been great, but functionally they had to place a 200 millimeter fan over here. It's not included, but you can install, which will blow air directly towards your graphics cards and things like that, which can be quite handy, especially if you're overclocking and things like that. In a gaming build, you're expected to do that. Now let's proceed to look what's inside. So the inside. First thing, of course, that comes into view is the included accessories pack, and the first thing to see is the converter that I was talking about, the 5¼ inch to 3½ inch bay conversion thing. Also, that means they've included a bracket for it as well, and over here at the bottom they have some engraving as well that tells you for which screw goes where and so forth. Anyhow, I'm sure no one's going to be installing a floppy disk drive, but very handy for a lot of nice fan control systems and so forth. Come in 3½ inch, which is very good, especially for a gaming system. It's almost imperative. There's a 8-pin to 2 4-pin cable. I believe this is the EPS, possibly for extension. Anyhow, lots of cable ties. There's a little buzzer as well. So speakers are not fixed into the case these days. They just include a buzzer, and obviously plenty of screws, which is nice. So that's out of the way. Also, there was the manual. Pursuit without fear. That's their slogan. Right. So let's move on to the other aspects of the internal. Okay, the inside. Now quickly, as we mentioned earlier, there are 4 5¼ inch bays. We will be looking at the tool-free mechanism shortly. Also, there are 6 places for hard drive, and we shall be looking at the mounting system shortly as well. They are all tool-free over here. At the bottom, first of all, let's come from this side. There's room over here to place a 120 millimeter fan, which is optional. They don't include that. The bracket over here that allows you to place your power supply over, on top, can be positioned according to the length of your power supply. There are lots of holes over here so that you can move the bracket back and forth. There is also about ½ centimeter of gap between the floor and the power supply. At the floor of the case and the power supply. Now the next thing to mention is that the motherboard tray will only allow up to 80x. Anything bigger than that, well, we can't. Beyond that, as we mentioned earlier, there's the fan over here, and at the front over here is the space for 2 120 millimeter fan or a single 200 millimeter fan, none of which is included. So the case just comes with the top 200 millimeter and a 120 millimeter fan. It would have been preferable to have another front intake, or maybe they expect that a gaming enthusiast will get their own fan and things like that. Anyhow, moving on. Let's see how the optical drive installs. Installing the optical drive. First thing you do is remove the plate from there. Take your optical drive and simply slide it in. At one stage it will sort of stop. There's a mechanism over here, so you have to push it gently and it will go in and snap. Right? It snaps on right at the right place, and it's locked in. It's not going anywhere. Excellent. How do we release it? Press the blue thing over here, like so, and slide it out. Pretty easy. It's good little mechanism over here. Now let's look at the hard drive installation. Installation of the hard drive. What you have to do is just simply press on one end over here, pull out the lever, and out slides the cage. Now the cage in itself has the edge over here. They have rubber grommets over here, padding. Now this will obviously absorb some of the vibration, and how you install is you can pull out these little black clips from the side. Out they come, and place your hard drive, lining up the holes, of course. There we go. That's all matched. Put back the clips. They'll snap into position. Done. And then the same lever, just open it, place the cage back. When it stops, just push and it snaps into place. Quick note, the hard drive can only be installed facing backwards. The cable has to run from the back. You cannot have it running from the front. So that means it has to be run from the back of the case, like, and come in from one of these holes, which is good thing, if they automatically are enabling you to use cable management, but you don't have any other option either. Anyhow, moving on. Okay, so we've had the motherboard installed. I haven't done a full installation yet. Wanted to share a few things with you. Now the thing was that once the power supply was being installed, I had to move the plate back a little bit, otherwise it wouldn't install at all. So you have to change the position of the bracket over here sometimes. Anyhow, once that's done, it fits quite part of the installation. And I have not purposefully used a modular case because I wanted to see how much cable can actually be arranged and so forth. The thing is that the case should cater for the cables, not power supply, according to the case. So so far it's quite neat. All the cables, there's enough room over here that all the cables ran through to the back, and in the back there's enough room as well. We shall be looking at that shortly. I've used a reasonably decent sized cooler with 2 fans. Also added a RAM cooler over here. The graphics card has been added. It's not the largest graphics card there is, but it is long enough. So how long is it? The card itself is about 27 centimeters, and there is plenty to spare. Like there's still I don't know, 6-7 centimeters to spare. And as the hard drive cage is running backwards, there's no cable coming from over here. So yeah, you can install something all the way, till the cage, but the cage is not removable. So anyhow, you can still install plenty long cards, and there is still plenty of room around here to work. I was thinking that unlike some other case I've used, the place for the fan would get blocked as soon as we put the power supply, but no, there is still plenty of room over here. It will allow a lot of airflow. As you can see, the space is not cluttered, this space. So if you want to create the updraft way, intake from here, which is a good idea because it's already filtered, and exhaust out of the top, this is an ideal situation, and I totally recommend that. The case will handle that quite nicely, except up to 120mm fan, so you might want to invest on a good fan to put down there. Other than that, well, let's power it up. There we go, powered up now. Just enough connections to actually power it up, but thought I'd show you. Now we will look at the top and what functions we have at the top. Okay, let's see what happens when we power it up. We see the blue LED coming for the high over, for the fan controller. Press at low button lights up and changes the RPM. Now another thing to show you is the fan LED, which if we press, what's happening is the following. Now to demonstrate, it cannot be seen, so I'll just, so that's the this cycling mode, or how do we call it, disco mode or something. Press the fan LED. Now it's blue, green, pulsating, and press it again. I think that's off. Now it's blue alone, green, not changing, red, and that's the disco mode. And that's color shift. It'll keep changing colors. And there's a second header, like it was connected from the back. We'll see that in a second, but there's a bypass, so you can use another one and so forth. So that was the demonstration of the fan. Let's put it on high. Yep, plenty of flow, plenty of airflow. Righto, let's look at the cable management for a sec. Okay, this is what the back end currently looks like. Over here is the connector I spoke about earlier. Is the bypass that will allow you to connect another color shift fan. As far as cable management goes, there's room over here, as you can see, and cable ties and so forth. So I've tied up all the cables over here. And another thing, I had to install the retention plate with no problems at all, because there's so much room over here. There's plenty of clearance there. So yeah, that's a 1366 rear retention plate. So there we have it. That was the overview of the case. So for more video reviews and unboxing videos and so forth, please visit us at www.salesberg.com. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, or if you want to see any other case review and so forth, we welcome your comments. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time.